Hi, my name's Annie. I'm going to be talking about cognitive bias decision making and how the four main cognitive biases have affected me personally. I don't have a lot of examples within business, but I do have a few examples to use for each one that are personal to me. So starting off with confirmation bias, I experienced this with girls on the soccer team. Or girls in general, really. Just people have pre assumptions of what a girl's supposed to be like as a person, and then they say it to me, and I think of them that way even though they are not that. And so regardless of who they are, I used to really have a tendency to believe that they were what someone was saying, regardless of who they actually were. And that is obviously something that everyone needs to work on. And then representative biases, I experienced this through nannying, which is really interesting because I'll have a bad experience with one family and it's like a small sample and it's one experience, and a new family will hire me and I'm like automatically assume that it's going to be an awful experience, or maybe not automatically assume, but am having attitudes of like, oh, like I don't want to do this just because of that one experience. And then illusion of control is the third one, and I don't have a lot of personal experience with this because I feel like I have a good idea of where control is at in my life and how circumstances maybe not necessarily going to go, but that it's not really in my control and it's in the Lord's control. And I couldn't really think of a good example for that. I don't really have any business examples or work examples in my life. And then the last one is escalating commitment. I've experienced this with jobs. This past summer, I had this job. I did not like it at all. I actually hated it. And I stayed with it because I had already committed so much time and effort to it. And at the time, this is like a good example for the bias, but also at the time I felt like it was the right thing to do just because summer's a short amount of time and like I could stick it out. There's no need to quit a job. And I just didn't want to quit. And so another example for that is also in relationships. I feel like this is applied in my life, whether it's in a relationship or a friendship, but just staying, and I know this applies to a lot of people, but just staying in a relationship that's not good for you only because you've committed so much time and effort, and it would just take a lot more to break things off. But in the end, like, breaking things off is like the best thing to do because it's obviously failing, it's obviously not succeeding or being at the best it can be. And so those are my 4 examples for the main biases. Thank you.